I'm catching up to you on Destiny, so we should be able to raid here pretty soon. What? How many people is it raiding? Is it 6? How many people can do a dungeon? Is it 3? Okay. Well, I'll be on until next Thursday, 24/7. I gotta, I gotta mow the lawn and then put in my application for teaching to Guyman, and then that basically is like my entire. Yep. That way I can have more money to spend on games because I don't have children. No, not really. No, Yeah, so basically in where I'm at, you could be emergency certified and get paid full time or get paid full wage. So basically emergency certified means you haven't taken your state testing yet. Or your certified testing for teaching, which you have to take 2 of those. And it's your OGAT and your OSAT. So I'm going to take those because I have 3 years to get those. So while I'm teaching for 3 years, I'll be studying for that stuff and studying for the Kansas one. So I'll get my certifications in both. And I'll probably end up moving to Kansas to teach after like a couple years. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to stay up in Kansas during the summers. So that way I can be up by you guys, because, I mean, I'm not going to do anything in the summer, so I might as well.
Yeah. Well, man, I hope you kick ass at it, man. And, I don't know, it's just going to be a new start for you, you know? It's going to be something different.
Well, I've spent a fuck ton of years figuring all this shit out, so, like, yeah, fuck, I'm glad I'm done. I'm a little sad that Ryan didn't go all the way with his degrees or his certs.
Dude, I know.
To kind of, like, match me. Because, like, you know, I kind of had, like, this, like, little rivalry going with Ryan where I was like, yeah, who's gonna get their shit first? But now it's like, he just doesn't have any drive ever since like, I moved out and he stopped going to Hayes. Yeah, I just, like, that's my most disappointing part. Like, I'm not even worried about my future or anything like that because I've got all my shit sorted and top notch. But, like, dude, I'm a little sad that I don't have, like, at him at that level. You've already got your cert, so I've at least got you at that level. But, like,
yeah, the thing
not
is,
so
like,
much.
I felt like Ryan used me kind of as a, like, okay, I'm gonna get my certifications, you know, and after I kind of fucked up my college opportunity, I had to kind of rebuild, you know.
Yeah.
He was kind of like he just kind of like grew to be like, okay, I'm just really waiting on Luis to get back up here, and then afterwards he just stopped giving me shit. Like, I felt like me and him were kind of competing on that, and then afterwards,
I think if his girlfriend comes down, he might.
I don't know. Dude, I just like he was he could have. It's just sad, man, because he's like a really, really, really smart motherfucker. Could have put his brain to solving so much shit.
And he didn't fully commit, and it's sad to see it.
But to be fair, I think other people would say the same thing about us. So
About who?
about us, like if somebody took a look at your life, you know, and just thought, oh, this guy's a smart motherfucker. He could do so much more, you know. Like they could always say that about us. Like I know my parents and everybody kind of like in my family looked at me like, oh, you're gonna be the next Jeff Bezos, and I'm like, fuck that.
Yeah, I know your fucking dad used to think like that.
Yeah, they that's the thing. It's like there's always this pressure that's kind of like put on me, and then looking at Ryan, I'm like, I am nowhere near this guy's level. How am I gonna be near Jeff Bezos or fucking Elon Musk's level?
We'll see. See, I don't know if I've told you like my whole plan, but basically what I'm gonna do is what happened?
Dude, what the fuck? I could've killed all three of them. Okay, sorry. There was
I don't know if I've told you my whole plan, but basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach until maybe I retire for the first time, which is after 15 years.
yeah.
And then depending on where I'm at now, because I have a psychology degree, and then I have 2 history degrees, which
Yeah.
means that I can work in government.
Oh shit. Dude, once you get a government
Yeah.
job, man, that's gonna be set. That's
But you
gonna
have to be a specific age to get certain ones. Because I think it's like 35 for a majority of them.
See, that's the thing with my field. Oh, motherfucker, they all use good supers at this point. But that's the thing with my field is like I don't have to be a certain age or anything like that. Just really just have the experience. And honestly,
Yeah.
at this point with my experience that I've gained, and I think I can get a job working in government. I think I can get a job pretty much working wherever. Just so long as it's not too advanced, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's a good thing about that field. But you said you want to get the couple years under
I
the
want to
belt.
go. Yeah, I want to get a couple of years under my belt and the first retirement, because by that point, I should be generally old enough to pursue a government position, but then I'll have a stable form of income on the back burner in case like shit goes sour. And then I can always just teach in Oklahoma again at the later part of my life and be like, hey, I can retire in Oklahoma and get 2 retirements. Hell, if the government shit works out and I retire from that, then I could teach in Oklahoma and then retire from that. I'd have 3 retirements.
God damn, man. How long are those retirements set for?
Oh, till you die.
Till you die, so you just get a straight
Yeah, they're
income
so
until
even
you
with
die?
teaching, it's pretty much it's government based, because teaching is considered a government field.
That is badass.
Basically till the
super
end. Yeah,
badass.
basically till you die. But even if I didn't pursue government, I'd still get like 2 of them. But it's like, also think about this: when I go in up and teach by you, you know how much I'd make a fucking year?
How much?
Especially once I get a couple years under my fucking belt, 60 to 80 grand.
Dude, that is fucking badass, man. It takes me-
Like I know
couple
you make the
years.
comment like teachers don't make much, but like even in Oklahoma, because they've gotten so desperate, teachers are making like 40 to 50,000, and like me starting, I'm gonna make fucking 35, 40,000.
I never read the comment teachers going, well, teachers, I would say, like, I know, like, okay, so my supervisor, right?
Maybe it was on Holly who made it. I know somebody said it earlier today. I didn't know.
Oh, today? Yeah, no, I did look at it. Because I barely was going on. We did not talk about this.
Oh, okay.
But no, it's like, I know teachers, like, I still think, even after all that, teachers are still underpaid. Because of the fact
Oh, no,
that
they
how much
they
fucking
definitely
have to deal with. But still, they do make.
But say, for instance-
because my supervisor.
But also think about this. Also think about this. If I ran a club, if I ran extracurricular activities, if I helped run a sport, that's pay raises, pay raises, pay raises, pay raises. I have a psychology degree, which means I can help with the fucking school counselor. That's another pay raise.
Damn, man.
Oh yeah, no, dude. I'm a smart motherfucker. I know how I'll make the most amount of money and with the least amount of work.
And see, that's.
But I still put in the work to get there.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's
Because
where-
Ryan's got that mindset, but like he kind of minimalizes it and basically goes with like what he can survive by instead of like what would make his life probably the best comfortably. Because like if he and his brother stay living together, which is what I think he thinks they're gonna do, like I don't think that's gonna incentivize him to do anything.
But see, this is where I get it from Ryan. So, I'm planning on staying in my work for about 2 more months, and I want to get something that
Yeah.
pays about 24 now. Um,
Oh,
and
24 an hour.
yeah, I can probably easily get that.
You wanna know something funny?
What's up?
You might be able to get a job if you're juicy.
Really?
He owns a fucking IT company or a Wi-Fi company.
Oh, really? He owns it?
Yes, he's like a co-runner of it.
Okay. I might
It's
talk
like
to him.
I think it's called like I think it's like Cherry something out of fucking it's out of like Michigan or something.
Oh, goddamn.
But like I remember I looked it up. But yeah, no,
Well, yeah, I
because
was,
I guess like him and his best friend run it. But like if you get all your certs and shit, I'm sure they'd gladly have you fucking come over. That might be an avenue, but like
yeah. Oh, dude.
you know.
See, one thing I've learned, networking. Like, not just like hardware, social networking. Talking to people.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Having people to connect to other people. That's one thing I've learned. So, I always had a fallback. If I wasn't gonna make it in IT, my oldest brother, he told me I can be a tech for a power company, and he'll say it's like he makes 100,000 plus, fucking easily. He can get a job that pays him 200, 300, whatever. He basically calls his own price. That's fucking crazy. Um, he basically told me is like, if I did not make it into the computer field, in the computer science field, um, he would recommend me to be a tech, a relay tech. And these people get paid 22 minimum, and they make up to like 33 or 34. But I would be on the actual site, testing like transformers and shit like that. So that would have been interesting, but I was wanting to be a tech. I was wanting to be a computer tech, and then
Yeah.
so that was always my fallback plan. So I had that through my brother to be able to get something like that. But it's just like I just realized like networking is insane because like now like everybody now that I have my director, he's very fond of me. My previous supervisor was very fond of me. They both said like if I ever need a letter of recommendation, they'll have one ready for me quick. You know, it's just like I just I like knowing that they have my back, kind of, you know, and knowing that I can get like if they end up like breaking off and making their own stuff, I would be one of the first people they contact to kind of be on board of their team. You know, it's just kind of like if there's always opportunities in the future, and that's I don't know. That's one thing I'm kind of learning more and more. It's just kind of like how important like social networking is. There's somebody in our IT department that doesn't know
Yeah.
anything about computers. He doesn't know shit about what's going on, but yet he's like a project manager. And the reason for that is because he had the connections, and he was just like he had a I would say he has a badass personality. Like they're very outgoing, very funny. You know, he kind of connects everybody together. But whenever we try to explain to him stuff, it kind of goes over his head because he doesn't know anything about it. And I'm like, if he could get to that position to be a project fucking manager, like just by pure charisma, just by pure like connection, like how far can somebody get with experience and all of that, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of my plan. It's just kind of like jump from job to job, stay there long enough for them to appreciate me. You know, not jump from like not leave 3 months in, but leave like 9 to a year in. You know, each job to build that connection network, and then
Yeah.
eventually get like a really really badass job that lets me work from home, and I don't do much. So I'm lazy, but I'm future lazy. You know, I'm like I'll be lazy in the future. I know it.
Fair enough. I mean, honestly, I feel like me being sick today was also part of me just feeling like not fucking wanting to continue to work. Now that I finished school, I really don't need to stay at this job, so I can just sub.
See,
So that's why, like this weekend, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that.
and that's the thing. It's like sometimes you just need a fucking day off. Sometimes you just need to just like take some time. It's just like, you know what? I need to stay off. I'm enough. No, you're just pushed.
Well, see, and it's
constantly.
like I haven't been working a lot this week, and she cut my hours, but I feel like it's due to like just fucking stress because like my boss has been a racist fucking cunt, said like horrible fucking shit, and I've just had to deal with asshole after asshole being fucking entitled because I live in a fucking small town where everybody thinks the fucking shot's a fucking government ploy. So when everybody finds out I fucking got the shot, it's fucking crazy. My
Really?
grandma has a lady who
God
fucking
damn.
yeah. My grandma has a worker who literally like thinks that if you didn't vote for Trump, you voted for fucking Biden. So my grandma, you know, they fucking run a fucking hair salon, and her fucking coworker has been lying to people about who people voted for because they don't want to tell her. So she's been telling people who say they don't want to tell her who they voted for that she's been telling on them and spreading rumors around town like, hey, they voted for Biden, trying to get people to fucking go after him.
See, okay. Fuck, that is crazy. But
Yeah, and that's how
that
a
is-
lot of the people
that
here
is so
act.
stupid. Okay, so look. Okay, I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Biden because both
I
were
voted for
fucking.
Joe Jurgensen.
I mean, I don't blame you, but here's the thing. It's just like both are beyond the pale. Both are fucking criminals, and honestly, both did not support. I would say Biden surprised me a little bit, but he's not supporting the things I want to support, right? Um, the thing is, like, I hate this idea. Like, so I talked to this guy. So
Yeah.
I'll bring this as an example. I talked to this guy probably in April. It kind of stuck to me because he was uh he was one of those people that supported January 6th. He was one of those people that kind of like was like the election was stolen, all this stuff, like Trump won, all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And me and you know, right, that they counted the in-person ballots first, and then they counted mail-in ballots last. That
Yeah,
it
and
was
that's
like
why the time frame shit.
Yeah.
Everybody loses their fucking mind.
There was a lag on it. So if you ever go back, if you ever go watch Joe Rogan, watch the Joe Rogan election night, they had a guy named Kyle Kalinske on. This is the guy I listen to quite often because he's very
Kyle
populist.
Kalinske.
Yes, he's very populist. He's a populist leftist. So he believes in Medicare for all, free college.
Is that
and
the
all
dude who's
shit.
always fucking high as shit whenever he does his fucking interviews?
No, that's not him.
Okay.
But he's so he broke it down. He was saying, and if you watch that podcast with him, as
Yeah.
as things were going live, he was spot on explaining what was going on. Predicting what was going to happen that night, and then it just happened exactly how he said it. So this is the guy I listened to, so I knew beforehand going in that the election wasn't going to be stolen, all this shit. And I was just explaining it to this guy.
Also, it was like the biggest turnout for voters like fucking ever.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people were so tired of Trump shit, especially because of the way he fucking handled COVID.
Well, it's
and,
crazy.
and nobody seems to fucking realize that.
Both Biden and Trump got the most votes out of any president in recent history. So Trump got like 70 million or something. Biden got like 73 or something like that. But he got more votes overall. Like they got, well, I think he got
And then-
76
And then they've
around
done
there.
all these fucking recounts that are still going on today. And the only thing they've showed is that like, not only have they showed that there's no election fraud, they've shown the numbers were even more for fucking Biden.
Yeah, and
And
the thing is,
it's like
what's crazy. Oh, sorry, go on.
Okay. Okay. So basically, you want to know something super fucked up? My aunt, who's like literally morbidly obese and has gotten COVID, and when she got COVID, it fucked her up so bad that like, lady couldn't fucking breathe, and then she was already super fat, so like afterwards, it just kind of pushed her further towards diabetes, which she got, and then fucking she's still against getting the shot, and she's had COVID once, and it literally nearly killed her.
God damn.
And I'm like, you're fucking stupid.
See, okay. So, the reason why I say this is that this guy that I was talking to,
Yeah.
he immediately, whenever I said I'm on the left and I support Bernie, he immediately was like, "Oh, so you like he equivalated me to Biden, right?" And I was like, "Don't equivalate. Don't. I don't support Biden. I don't like Biden. I fucking hate him." And like
Yeah.
his eyes shot up, like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah. If you actually talk to an actual leftist, like they would note down everything wrong with him that they do not like about him. The fact that he supported the crime bill, the fact that he supported the Iraq war, the fact that, well, I would say currently in his presidency, fair enough, he pulled out of Afghanistan, which is what leftists wanted, but he didn't support $15 minimum wage, which was what he promised. He didn't fucking support that. He didn't give us $2,000 stimulus checks. He gave us $1,400. So like there are things like to criticize him on from the left that just kind of like people always like think like people on the left are always for Biden, people on the right are always for Trump, and like that's not true.
That's not
fucking
that's not how
true.
it works. It's the two-party system has basically just ruined all free thinking.
Yeah. Exactly. There's like, and see, this is why, in general, I absolutely hate identity politics because it supports this idea of a two-party system. What this means is that if you're a Democrat, you're obviously going to play identity politics. You're obviously going to play, like, you're obviously going to be like, if for Black Lives Matter, no matter what. And I'm like, or you're always going to be like this. You're going to be on nuance in discussing it, police brutality, or any of those issues that we're dealing with. Like if you're, so this is why it's like populism in terms of the right, in terms of the left, is rising because people are tired of like this traditional Democrat and Republican move, where the Democrats are more identitarian, they're more focused on identity. And the Republicans, they're basically just like owning the libs at this point. That's what their whole identity
That's like their
is.
entire identity.
Yeah, it's
and
just
it's so
own the
stupid
libs.
because
It's so
if
stupid,
your
yeah.
entire like political beliefs fit under one spectrum, you don't fucking have any beliefs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, and that's the thing. It's like, to me, I don't feel like I have like, even though I feel I identify as a leftist, I don't think I have a political home. Because when it comes to like shit like the culture war, shit like identity politics, I will disagree on the left. I'll disagree to people on the left, like through and through. I do not like identity politics. I do not like when people bring race into shit. I fucking hate it. It makes me angry. It really does make me angry.
I feel like bringing race and sex into any like point or argument literally defeats the purpose of whatever the fuck you're trying to present, whether it be negative or positive.
Exactly, or it's just like all companies have to do, or all a politician has to do, is just say Black Lives Matter, and all of their shit that they've done, all of their voting record, all of that they have done doesn't matter because they just said the right words, and that's all that matters. It's just saying the right words. Black Lives Matter. Just saying this shit, and all of their past, all of their past.
Yeah,
votes,
it's like you have
everything doesn't matter
politicians
at
who
this
say
point.
that shit, but like they
They
have
pander.
past fucking and they have like past records of like hate crimes or like something fucked up, and it's like they don't believe that, but that's all they have to fucking say, and people believe them. And you're just sitting there like, what the fuck?
Exactly. That's That's why it's like I hate identity politics, hate all of that shit because it's just it's all somebody has to do is just feign the fact that they are supporting you, and then they get all the praise. And I'm like, no, you're putting your energy into the wrong shit. The fact that people don't have access to healthcare, the fact that our planet is fucking burning, the fact that people are living with starvation wages, that shit is more important than a fucking gay Superman or some other fucking
Oh my
stupid
god!
shit.
Oh my god, dude! That's that gay Superman shit where everybody's been losing their fucking minds. And like
I don't care. I don't care.
You know that not a single one of them has read the comic books or knows. Like, and don't get me wrong, I don't have an opinion on it, honestly. But you
Exactly.
So to fill you in on this, the Superman who is gay isn't actually Superman. It's his
son.
fucking son.
His son. And the thing is, like, I'm like, who gives a fuck if it was actually Superman? We have fucking people living off starvation wages. We have our planet fucking burning. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Like, why is it so important to you? For both sides to just have that. Like, why is it so important for both sides, on the left, on the right, to just have that win? It's like, no, shut the fuck up. We have people that don't have access to healthcare. That takes precedent over fucking gay Superman.
By the way, have you noticed that fucking Bernie has been the guy fucking bargaining with fucking what's the douchebag name, Joe Manchin, for shit to get passed in the Senate? And dude, apparently Bernie was cussing him out.
Dude,
oh yeah, Joe Manchin's a piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck Joe Manchin. Fuck
Cinema's worse though, in my opinion. Like, at least Joe Manchin doesn't try to hide or act like he's something he's not. Like, he's fully aware that he's a fucking coal industry owner and a piece of shit.
Fucking snake, dude. She's a fucking
she's horrible.
Snake.
She's horrible. She tried to say that she was like pro all these like leftist ideals. The moment she got into politics, she got immediately paid off and doesn't even show up for votings.
Dude, she sold so quickly.
Woman sold her soul.
See, that's why it's like I hate all of this stupid bullshit that people focus on, because all she has to do is just feign. It's just feign. It's just like, oh yeah, like I'm a woman and I'm a woman in politics and I'm standing. Like, she has to like, all she has to do is just lean into the woman part. And then all of a sudden, all her voting records just gets wiped. Like, everything, like, she's on our side. No, she isn't. She isn't. She's against everything that we fucking
She's tried to say that she doesn't get paid enough in the Senate. So she's literally had, like, 2 other jobs. And they're not even jobs. She's just been, like, working at fucking wineries getting drunk. Because she thinks that the Senate doesn't get paid more. I'm like, the Senate gets paid more than like 75% of all jobs in the U.S. The fuck do you mean?
Yeah, no, yeah. Like, the thing is, like, I think.
So she's complaining about her wages.
I think anybody who's a politician should get paid as much as the average of Americans, which is like about 40 to 50,000.
I agree completely.
That was 10 years ago. Because that was the last census that they counted, like 40 to 50,000 was the average. Now, I don't.
Probably right.
Yeah, it's probably like where I get paid. I get paid 37. So. Yeah, it's probably lower. No, it's just like that's where it's like, in terms of like the left, I agree in terms of like the economic policies, the foreign policies and shit like that. But when it comes to like the culture war shit and all of that, I'm like, no, I don't agree with you. Like, all somebody has to do is just feign support, and then they get your little like, oh my god, they support us, they're on our team. No, they're not. If you look at everything else that's actually important, like the economic policies, the foreign policies, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. But like, if I had to say anything about my political fucking identity, I'd honestly say that like, I'm pretty much pro all like social care and social needs. Basically, like, just the general living needs and requirements. I feel like they should be met.
Yeah. So there's this idea in America. Sorry to cut you off, but there's this
Go ahead.
idea
No, you're
in America that everything's a meritocracy, where basically the harder you work, the farther you get. That's kind of a lie. See,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm like, get everybody like a universal basic income, universal health care, and then at that point, there should be no fucking excuses. At that point, you should be able to. The harder you work, the farther you get. I want things to be a meritocracy. I want things to be like the harder people work, the people that work the hardest should get paid more. The people that try their fucking hardest should should be the ones on top. But it's because of the system that we have now that some people are born in a disenfranchised location, like a fucking urban location where they live in poor neighborhoods and shit like that. Like, that shit fucks them over. They have to live in that neighborhood, and then they have to grow. Like, some people start from, if you're running a 100-meter dash, some people start at the 50-yard line, at the 50-meter line, and some people start at 0. It's like, no, get everybody to start at the similar step, and just kind of see who gets on top. That's a meritocracy. The harder you work, the better you get. The people who don't work that hard, they won't get that much.
See, and I agree completely, and I hate that like everybody's always like, against like, anything social because they're like, oh fuck it, it's socialism, and I'm like, do you know what socialism is? And they're like, no.
Police.
And then like
firefighters. That's socialism. That's socialism.
Medicare, fucking
Medicare,
retirement,
Social
like
Security.
all that shit. And like my grandma was talking to me the other day because like my grandma has apparently been told by my family who to fucking vote for, and she's been doing that for years, which is fucked.
See, and that's the thing. It's like everybody gets tribal mainly because the community around them gets tribal. The people that are around, all of that feeds into that narrative, and that's why it's like it's so hard to break people from these kind of like their tribalistic.
For a group of people that claim like, hey, you're being a fucking sheep, man, they're really hurty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like people who think that they see everything, like they see the truth in everything. They tend to be sheep to that, mentality. I'm gonna take a piss. I'll be back.
Go ahead.
So, one other thing I was gonna say is like, whenever I try to talk to conservatives, I don't try to attack them. Instead, I focus on a lot of the values that I have and the values that they have. And the perfect example of this, I have two examples. And one was the store manager at the grocery store I worked at. He's pretty conservative. He says like the only problem he has with Trump is he doesn't keep his mouth shut. That's the only problem he has with Trump. That's it. And I'm like, okay. Like in my head, I'm like, they expelled me from the Saudis. He fucking took the provisions from he took our safety provisions for our clean water, so that way companies can dump fucking shit on our clean water. His foreign policy is terrible. His economic policy is terrible. But I was like, instead of just like attacking him, and like I took a step back and I was like, okay. Let's hear what he's talking about, and he started to like talk about how the Democrats don't represent him, and how they take money from corporations. And I was like, bingo. That's right there. Taking money from corporations. I hate when a Democrat does that, and I hate when a Republican does that. It's fucking. I don't think they should be taking money from corporations at all.
Yeah, I think like donating to politics is probably one of like the like it shouldn't be allowed. Like political donations should not be allowed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um,
There's some people that
as
think it's
well
just
as
like having a flat rate where when you become a politician, you have this flat rate to spend on your campaign. Which I kind of get that. Um, to me, I just think all your money has to come through grassroots movements. So all your money has to come from people specifically, and not from corporations. And I think there should be kind of like a maximum amount one person can give. So no billionaires can like spend absorbent money.
yeah, and I feel like the money needs to be specifically tracked and only allowed to go towards like their campaign. None of that
Exactly.
bullshit that where
Where they
like
kind
their
of
money
funnel
goes
it
missing.
in.
Like fucking Trump and all them, like
Oh
oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
the millions of dollars of funds just
Oh yeah.
randomly fucking missing from campaigns, like holy shit.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, it's funny because like, I'm getting sidetracked. But Trump made the thing about how like they were gonna fight the elections, you know. But then if you read the fine print, it's like made like basically he pushed his supporters to give him money so that way he can fight the election. Um, but in the fine print it says not all the money will go to deciding the election. And in fact,
Yeah.
when they audited that, it was like 80% of that went to him and his organization and his family, and 20% went to actually fighting the case for the election fraud. So it was just like, come on, that's outright fucking scandalous. But that's beyond the point. Basically, it's like when I talk to conservatives, it's like I see that, like, I think everybody universally hates the fact that corporations should just buy politicians in general. Whether you think corporations shouldn't be allowed to pay at all, or corporations should be capped, or whatever policy you may have. I think in general, most Americans just don't like that corporations have the ability to just buy their politicians.
Yeah, that's fucked. And I think any
I think
politician
it's
who has
fucked.
ties to a specific like thing, like a
Corporation?
specific business or corporation, or like if their family's fucking in it, I don't think that they deserve a vote on how that thing goes
Exactly. Fucking
because they're
Jimmy
biased.
Carter. Jimmy Carter had to sell his peanut farm because they were afraid that the Russians can use that peanut farm to bribe Jimmy Carter. So this is called the emoluments clause. So when a president gets into office, they're expected to not be corrupt. They're expected to not take money from another foreign actor. This is called the emoluments clause. And because of that, Jimmy Carter had to sell his peanut farm. He was actually brought up into court because of it. So he sold his peanut farm. And it's just something as small as that. And then the thing is with like Trump, he, even though he sold his company to his kids still had access to it. So anything that he did during his presidency that benefited the Trump industry, even though he wasn't the owner of the organization, his kids were, and that didn't break the emoluments clause. And I'm like, that's
Yeah, and
bullshit.
that's
It should have
fucked.
broke the emoluments clause because he took like over he took thousands and thousands and thousands of fucking dollars from Saudi Arabia. He gave him $3 billion of weapons deals in return. Like that's fucked. That is true fucking corruption. And the thing is, like,
How did he
still
steal money from Saudi Arabia? I know he's stolen a lot of money and done shit, but I think that's the one I know probably the least about.
He didn't steal money. They gave him money. So the Saudis gave him money for a $3 billion weapons deal. So
Oh.
Yeah, so the Saudis gave Trump money
That's
and
why they were coming to
through
Trump
his
Tower.
hotels. Through his hotel, yes,
Yes.
yes. They built a Trump Tower in Saudi Arabia because they can funnel money through that. So that way he can give them $3 billion weapons deal. That right there is outright fucking corruption. But instead, what ended up happening is people focused on his phone calls, which, to be fair, was no quid pro quo. There was nothing
No,
he
that
could
phone call
really.
was fucked.
It was fucked. But the thing is, it wasn't illegal. And I'm like, that's the thing. That's like that's fucked about it. He's like, you know what he was trying to do, but you can't really get him on anything. But if the Democrats would just to focus on his weapons deal with Saudi Arabia, holy shit, they would have had a case. They would have had a case, but they didn't. They focused on the fucking phone call. And I'm like, are you kidding me? You could get this motherfucker on corruption with Saudi Arabia, but you didn't because you were focused on the phone call. Sorry. This is another rant. But anyways, most of the time when I talk to conservatives, they I get them to get them to agree on one thing: universal basic income. Conservatives,
Yeah.
if you can talk to them and you actually talk to them about about universal basic income, a lot of conservatives actually agree with that. Uh, some conservatives agree with that only in the condition of getting rid of all the other welfare stuff. So, my coworker, he's like an NRA conservative person, um, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Well, as long as we get rid of all the other welfare shit, like, uh, like food stamps and all that stuff." Um, he's like, I will agree with universal basic income. He says like he would think that you would pay less, and I'm like, not really, but still, like the fact that somebody on the conservative team can agree to something like universal basic income is fucking crazy.
Yeah, but then it's very hard to get to that point because you got a lot of them where if they think you lean left, like they won't even talk to you, or they'll
Yeah,
go the whole like you should be strung up in the street shit.
but that's why it's important because that's why it's more important to criticize your democratic allies or whatever. Because
Oh
the
yeah, well
thing is,
I'll criticize
the Democrats.
Democrats.
Oh yeah,
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 fuck yeah, I'm an independent, so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
exactly like I align with either party.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like, uh, whenever you start criticizing the Democrats for their faults, for their corruption, a lot of conservatives are like, oh wait, maybe I should listen to this guy out, you know? So I actually like I feel like I can talk to almost any conservative and get them to at least agree with one policy that I agree with. And I'm like, if that's enough, like fuck, like they like at the very least like that's crazy. I can get a conservative to agree with universal basic income. That's crazy to me because I wouldn't think a conservative would ever agree to that. But the fact that I can get two of them that were extremely conservative, and then one that was pretty much fucking pro. I want to say pro QAnon, but kind of pro QAnon. um, to agree with shit like that, it just shows like all you really have to do is just empathize with the other fucking team, and then just
Yeah,
try to understand where they're coming from, and then at that point, I mean, you can really just kind of like talk them down from that. I don't know. And that's one thing I've learned. That's why I like the person I listen to is Kyle Kalinske. It's because he mentions all the time where there's a lot of conservatives that listen to him and they're like, holy shit, like this guy makes a point. Like this guy, they kind of like turn away from conservatism because they listen to him. And honestly, I would say it's like because I listened to him, I became less and less. I became more to more. I feel like I became much more rational in the way I think about politics instead of tribal. You know, because he definitely criticizes all sides. Uh, he tells you what he believes, And even though I disagree with him at times, I'm like, I don't think he's coming from a bad place. There's there's many people that I think that would just come from a terrible place. They come from one place and they just want to convert everything that you say into their heads. Sorry. Um,
No,
anyways,
no, you're good.
I don't know. I recommend if you're on the left, I recommend listening to him. Or if you agree with like
I don't.
some leftist policies, well,
I
some
agree with
leftist.
some leftist policies. In fact, I agree with some like far left ideals. Um, but
But basically, I fucking, I, I don't have like one alignment. Like I believe in capital punishment if you can 100% prove the person did a crime, and I think it's severe enough.
Yeah,
Which not everybody goes for. I totally get.
yeah,
Um, I think that we should have like social care and stuff, like basically creating an ease of life for the U.S. If we're the most free place in the world, why the fuck do we have some of the highest homeless numbers? Like, what the fuck?
yeah,
It's like we literally one of the things in our constitution is the right to the pursuit of happiness. So like, we have way more unhappy than happy people in our country. So
yeah. That's and see that's the thing is like that's probably contributing to a lot of like shit that people think is egregious. So I know this is kind of more anecdotal than evidence based, but I've seen something recently, like a video recently that was just like there was this shooter that was going to a school, right?
yeah,
So he was carrying a shotgun, and then a coach saw that, and instead of like attacking him, he grabbed him and he hugged him, pulled the shotgun away, and he just kept hugging him and kept talking to him. This shooter that was going to kill innocent people, like he was brought like in a he was like he let go of the shotgun and stuff like that, and he ended up like the police ended up being called. Obviously, they took him in, but instead of actually being taken to jail, he was taken to a mental institute, and he was getting the care that he needed. And I'm like, so if somebody like that, like I wonder how many people have done a lot of shit because they felt like they were alone, because they felt like everything, like nothing mattered, because they felt like nobody loved them, and all of these terrible things that they ended up doing these terrible acts, and how many people we can prevent. You obviously won't prevent all of them, right? There's going to be some people that are just something's wrong with them mentally, that they don't just feel, they don't feel, right? There's obviously some of the people, but
well, it's like
I wonder how many people
in
are
order for your
corrupt
brain to like make
instead
you
of
like
like
feel and understand and care for people, you have to experience it. So if you lived a life without that shit, you wouldn't know what it is.
yeah, exactly, and that's like I'm like it's hard for me in personally, it's hard for me to just justify killing somebody because of that. You know, like because of the fact that people like it's almost like I don't think anybody has free will. I think people are always going to be influenced by their past. They make their decisions from their past experiences, and they can't really tie away from that. Like their past is always going to influence you, and because of that, it's like it's very hard for me to think like it's very hard for me to think that there's such a thing as a free will. And I'm like, and it's like I can't blame anybody who's like at that point. It's like, what's the implication? Well, the implication is like people who have done shitty things, like kill innocent fucking people. You know, like it's hard to just like look at that as like as blame them as they're the issue when it's in fact their entire past and every moment that's led up to that point where they made that decision, that's the issue. and that's in it. And it scares me because like you obviously want to have like personal responsibility, right? If somebody makes a bad fucking call, well, yeah, they made the bad fucking call. They shouldn't. They should be held accountable to that, right? And it's like, I think that's where it's like I'm at. It's like I just kind of am conflicted. Whereas I want to, because I know people have personal responsibility. I know I have personal responsibility for the shit that I've done. You know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, knowing that your past constantly influences you, it's just hard to kind of like justify extreme punishment like killing somebody, you know? Because you
Yeah.
know that person was led to that point instead of like that person, and even if that person just was born as an evil person, he didn't have a choice. He was born into it. So where does the free will even lie? You know, it's like, and that kind of shit scares me because I'm like, does morality even fucking exist at this point? You know, it's
You're
fucked
starting to
up.
get philosophical, motherfucker.
I started to get philosophical, but that's the thing. That's the thing that kind of fucking like that keeps me up because I'm like, if these motherfuckers that go out and shoot innocent people, these piece of shits, like, if they're not evil, then what fucking is evil? And does evil even fucking exist? And if it doesn't, then holy shit, that's a terrifying fucking implication. You know? Like, I don't know, man. It's just that shit kind of fucks with me sometimes because I'm like, does morality even exist? Does all like I'm like, I just all I really know is just like what I feel. So if I feel bad about something, I'll just like okay, so I have emotions, But the fact is like I don't know. It's just kind of fucked.
So what games have you been getting into lately?
uh, honestly, just Destiny
Sorry,
2.
that was 52 minutes of politics. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Uh, I don't know, man. Just Destiny.
Just Destiny.
Yeah,
I hope
that's all I've been playing.
I
I
hope
have
the
like
next expansion is definitely bigger uh because like holy shit, dude.
you got through this whole thing
I
pretty
just
quick.
blew through like all the story modes.
Yep. Yep, man. It's yeah, that's one thing I don't. You get through it pretty quickly. But the thing is, Destiny isn't. You're not looking to Destiny for the story. You're really just looking for the end game.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. But like holy shit, man, like I wish they would just like add some more like shit, especially with like how much they've been getting for season passes. Like they have full access now, so they're not like only taking a cut, they're taking all the profits. Like put some fucking effort into the game because I've probably spent like $200 to $300 on Destiny over the years, and I still haven't gotten a full fucking game.
Yeah,
And,
yeah. And that's the thing. Is like it always feels like there's something incomplete about it, right? Like it never feels like it's fully real life.
oh my
Where you're
god, the
like,
story for Beyond Light was so fucking short. That was the shortest story mode I've ever played in any of the expansions.
I would say, yep. I would kind of agree with that. Well, the House of Wolves in terms of Destiny One, that expansion was pretty short. And then also in Destiny, if you're talking just about Destiny Two, the fucking Osiris one, where the Warmind or whatever, that was short. That was like a $20 fucking DLC that should have been $5.
Fair enough.
But Beyond Light, it has enough there in terms of the entire content. Where it's
No,
just
because the
like,
one before it is already like that much fucking longer.
yeah, Forsaken
Yeah, like holy shit.
or
Forsaken had more.
Shadowkeep,
Even the one that
Shadowkeep,
came after Forsaken.
Shadowkeep. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, I don't know. See, it's like that's why it's like I don't want to spend any more money on Destiny because I'm like I spent so much on Destiny 1. I spent so much on Destiny 2. I don't think it's. I just don't think it's worth it. I already bought. I already bought the season pass. And the reason I bought the season pass was just for the exotics. That's it. The exotics that I'll get from it. I'm like $10 for like 5 or 6 exotics. That's kind of worth it. Or 5 or 6 extra exotics. You know?
Yeah.
But the thing is, one of the exotics I got was just the same fucking helmet that I had with the knuckle-headed radar. And I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I thought it was good in fucking Crucible.
Punching boulders. Have you tried the Yakuza series yet?
Nah.
This shit's so bizarre and so funny.
Yakuza, huh? Yeah, I heard it was
so fucking funny.
I heard it's fun just to punch people. Just to go around punching people and shit like
the
that.
combat in 0 and 1 is clearly the best. The combat afterwards gets a little simplified, but like the heat moves alone are worth the game. Like the abilities you can use when you like land combos and then you're using weapons. Oh my god. Shoving a pipe up a man's ass and watching him salivate is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Really?
Yep.
Fucking Ryan was playing that and I was like, I don't know whether I should play that game or not. Like I've seen some gameplay of
The
it,
stories.
not enough to kind of.
The stories are fucking good.
Really? I want to.
Yeah, it's basically a crime drama with plot twists, and like every one of them just fucking tugs at your heartstrings.
Oh damn.
Oh, 0, 1, and 2 are the saddest fucking games I've ever played. 3's not as depressing, but still fun.
I need to see a doctor. My TMJ is getting pretty bad.
Your what, MJ?
TMJ,
I don't know what that is.
Clavicular muscular joint, whatever. It's like basically my jaw. So my jaw is kind of out of place. So there's like a bone that kind of hooks your jaw into place. And that's kind of like, I don't know whether that's worn down or not, but it basically means like whenever I open my mouth, my jaw clicks out of place. It kind of dislocates a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And then whenever I close my jaw, it goes back into place. It's just it's just being held in by muscle at this point. Not being held in by the bones kind of hooking in. And I went to my dentist, and I've also went to a doctor earlier this year. And I mentioned it in passing with the doctor. But they never actually took an x-ray or anything. The dentist actually did take an x-ray. And the dentist was like, But we basically can't do anything about it until it develops arthritis. Because at that point, we could start putting like metal plates and shit. I'm like, oh.
You're gonna be lockjaw from He-Man?
No. And the thing is, my jaw has actually locked before. Like, where I couldn't open it. So, I was eating... this might sound gay. Yeah, locked up. But anyway. This might sound hilarious. I was eating a bunch of nuts.
Lockjaw, huh?
Yeah, it's just like chewing, kind of like tightening the muscles so much because it was just that was the only thing holding it in place. So it was tightened so much that I wasn't able to open my mouth anymore. I wasn't able to open it. It was just locked everything in place. I was like, holy shit! So I put some ice on that. I laid back and it relaxed the muscles, and then I was able to open my mouth and talk and shit. But yeah, so I found out that I can't eat a bunch of nuts because if I do,
your jaw isn't strong enough for the amount of nuts you put in your mouth.
Fuck you. You know, that was good.
I'm sorry.
I can't hate that one.
The amount of shit you gave me the other day, like, oh, basically our jobs won't accomplish anything in life. This is fun.
You know, but it's true though. Nobody's job.
I can at least like stop a kid from killing himself. You're gonna stop a grandma from killing her kid because she can't figure out the Wi-Fi. We'll at least save one life.
I work at a non-profit foster care home thing, so at the very least,
you're gonna stop the foster care owner from killing the kids.
Exactly. So there it is. That's a little
what the fuck is this foster care home? Is this thing out in the middle of nowhere or what?
No, it's a foster care organization. So basically, there's multiple facilities around, and it's ironically, because I'm an atheist, but it's a Christian-based one. So they have a bunch. Wait, what? Oh yeah, they know.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they so basically have like different sections. One section is kind of taking care of the more delinquent kids, the kids like that are criminals. And so I've actually been to that place, and it's like the things that they tell me, the stories that they tell me there, where like kids make shanks out of fucking spoons or something. You know, they're like. They go in and they just kind of like try to stab people, or they kind of like steal a car from there. They try driving off. They run away constantly. It's like one of my coworkers, right? He was changing a satellite in it was changing a satellite dish, and the kids were kicking at his fucking ladder, trying to like make him fall. I'm like. It's kind of fucked up, but there's that place where they kind of keep all the delinquent, fucked up kids there, and then there's like other stuff where there's like where the parents are fucked up, and they can't take care of their kids, and there's like adoption, there's reintegration where kids are addicted, and they kind of go there to kind of get
Wait, so it's an orphanage for delinquents?
Basically, yeah, that's where I work.
They're literally like reverse Spider-Man and Batman's. My mom and dad are dead. Guess I'll fucking kill a guy.
Basically, yeah. And I fixed the therapist's computer. That's basically what happens. And the thing is, like, there's been so many walkouts there. Like, so many fucking people that are just like, that are basically fed up with the entire organization because they pay. There's a lot of therapists that get paid like shit, you know, and they do a bunch of walkouts. What's it called? I wouldn't say turnaround time. The fucking the time it takes for somebody to fucking quit is like so short. So somebody like I've seen people that are just like. They start working, and then 2 weeks later they quit. They're done. and
Jesus.
I see their equipment back in, and I'm like, God damn! Like it's so fun because it's over 50%. Over 50% of the people that start will quit within the next 3 months
What the fuck for?
because they get paid like shit and they have like a bunch of workload. They have a bunch of cases and shit like that that they have to do, and then they can't really like yeah. It's pretty fucked, man. It's like I work there, and I would say the IT department is the best paid department there. And I'm like, I kind of feel like shit for getting paid. Well, I get paid 18 an hour. I know there's therapists there that do not get paid even that much. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. Because all I do is just beep boop beep boop. I just get their computer ready. That's all I really do. Is just get people's computers ready, so that way they can start their job. And then I get paid 18 an hour. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. Where they're the social workers, the actual workers that actually change people's lives and do things to actually help people, get paid like shit, and then a beep boop guy like me gets paid 18 an hour.
I'm sorry, but all I can think of is the do from SpongeBob. That song that goes beep beep boop 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 boop. Are you talking about beep beep boop boop boop? No. I'm talking about beep 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 boop.
God damn,
Like
forgot about that.
they fucking like go nuts and think Mr. Krabs is a fucking robot.
You know that show is so influential
Dude, some of the
in
new
my life.
episodes still slap, and the only reason I've seen them is because my little brother watches when he comes over, and like, dude, some of the new episodes are fucking hilarious. Like the one where the
Uh,
mom puts the fucking floaties on the kid and he floats to the surface giggling, and the mom's just horrified.
what the fuck, really?
Yeah, they also brought back the old lady who was the one that was like chocolate.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
They brought her back?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, is it the old lady or the old lady?
Old lady.
Oh, goddamn. What a throwback.
Oh yeah. They went like full send with that shit. But
I'm gonna switch to my Warlock and start doing some of the weekly shit with that.
I'm basically just trying to get my guy max so that way I can just get armor and fucking weapons that I can just fucking upgrade to.
Well, once you get to 1320, like at that point, I can see slowing it down. 'Cause I slowed it down at 1320 because I'm like, I'm only gonna get fucking shit from Pinnacle Gear, and half the shit in Pinnacle Gear, I'm gonna need more fucking people that are around my fucking level to even get.
Well, I'm at 1307 right now. So like, yeah, there's that. Is there any things that we could do with just the two of us to get Pinnacle Gear?
So let me take a look here. So we can do the regular strikes again with a different character if you want. We can get Pinnacle Gear like that. So
By
the
the way,
three regular strikes. The three
oh,
regular strikes, but you have to have their super as the thing, as the burn. We can also do the crucible stuff. It's just very hard. Like after you get to 1320, it's just like there's very limited stuff you can do that actually gets you gear.
yeah.
Oh, I did not do the Festival of the Lost shit with my warlock.
Oh, I hope my other copy of fucking Star Force comes in tomorrow so that way I can send all the pictures of all the games to Ryan and just be like, remember.
You know, that's something I honestly did forget about until Ryan brought it up. He brought it up,
Bro.
and I was
He's
just like,
He brought
"What
it
the
up to me
fuck are you
once in
talking
high
about?"
school. He brought it up to me once when we took a trip to Hayes, and then he brought it up once when I lived with him. And then he brought it up like once a month or two ago. And then he brought it up again like maybe like a couple weeks ago.
And see, that's
I
the thing.
think the time
He
frame in
has not
between
brought it up to me.
the time frame
Honest to
in
God.
between each of them is getting shorter, Luis. I think he's ready to blow.
Okay, okay. So here's the thing. He has not brought it up to me. Has not brought it up to me. Honest to fucking God. Since fucking 5th grade. And it just recently he brought it up to me. And it's just almost every time.
Well, he
I'm saying
also
every
never
other
told
time.
you that he hated
Every other
fucking
time.
Jackie, so evidently he doesn't tell you everything.
I know. It's like he keeps all this shit in. And then now it's just blowing. Now it's just blowing up. And I'm like, God damn, man. God damn.
I think it was whenever you had like your little like stayaways from us for a bit, so you just missed out on a bunch of shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because remember
That
when
was.
we were going to when I was still at Dodge. I think it's because Ryan got really lonely because he only had like 2 or 3 friends. So you were out of the picture and Michael was doing shit. So literally he only talked to me and like the dude came over like every other weekend at one point.
God damn. I feel bad about that because I was too focused on a fucking failed relationship.
Too worried about a skank.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all
It
good,
just.
brother. It's all good.
It, I was just fucked up, man. I was just a fucked up human being. But the thing is, like, how did I expect to have my life together at 19? But then again, I should have been better.
No, fuck. I mean, I still give Sean shit for like, what the fuck? Are they beating a guy in the middle of the street and people are watching?
You know, it happens.
Luis, I
I
think they
see
put you
something
in the
fuck.
game. They're beating you
Yeah,
in the streets.
I'm just, you know, at this point, whenever I hear shit like that, I'm like, it happens. That's fucked up. But I'm like, you know, when you hear something that's supposed to be traumatic to other fucking generations in the past, you're like,
It's like
we've
that
seen
scene.
worse.
Literally, there's a scene in Rick and Morty that sums it up the best. It's like literally, it's like the mom's like, "Oh, that's so traumatic." It's like I dealt with such traumatic shit when I was a kid because the mom's like her friend went missing or whatever, and she's like, "Please, I get traumatized before breakfast, bitch," is what her daughter says.
It's just like, pretty much, yeah. It's got to the point where it's just like, we just laugh at shit. Oh, somebody just got kidnapped and they fucking got cut up into pieces. Eh, should not get kidnapped, bitch.
Did he hide,
That's
did he hide
literally-
any of those
that-
pieces inside of himself?
Oh, god damn. That's brutal. That's fucking metal.
It's fucking metal. Oh yeah, shoving pieces of a dismembered human being up my ass. Completely metal. Yeah, that's the front of a metal album, I tell you what.
You know, I would buy that album. And I would immediately kill myself after listening to it.
The album's called Farting Human Chunks.
Farting human chunks. Well, fuck. Goddamn. You know, we're gonna go to hell at one point.
Yeah, but heaven would be boring as shit. And if
I know.
Christians go to heaven, I think I'd rather go to hell.
I know all the cool people are down there.
All the cool people are down there. Fucking
Yo, Hitler! No, fuck.
you know, I was gonna say
I'm fucked up.
I was gonna say like the lead singer of Queens because he was fucking gay, and then you just went full Nazi.
Yeah, you did not see that coming. Ah?
Luis, do you have a kid you don't know about? Because you're starting to veer into dad jokes, and I don't like it.
I may.
By the way, have you seen
May?
the painting I have in my bedroom?
No.
You gotta see this.
I heard that sign. I was like, oh no. Oh no.
I'm about to buy a body pillow of a Mass Effect character.
Oh, is it the fucking blue alien girl?
No, it's not the blue one. It's fucking Tally.
Oh, okay.
Luis is like, understandable. No, that's on my wall in front of my bed. I look at that every day I wake up. Did you save it? You fucking bitch. I just see it immediately saved. Fuck you.
Hey, I have to save it because then if I click out of it, I won't remember what I saw. And yeah. You can't hear it, but I'm laughing
You're
at you right now.
pissing right now.
Okay. I'm done washing my hands. Here's the toilet. Okay.
Tears the toilet. Man, that's a weird scene.
Oh man. They took inspiration from NSYNC. Fuck you, Dawson. Anyways. Do you want to play with another character and we start doing the Vanguard shit? Or do you want to do anything in Destiny? Or do you want to just keep playing?
Well, let me get to a stopping
Yakuza.
point, and I will be down. I think I'm just gonna play with the character I have.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely down for staying up and playing games tonight. I just needed a break from Destiny because I played it from like fucking 2 to fucking.
Dude, let's play fucking Splitgate then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We keep forgetting we have this game. You know? Like, this game exists, and we just don't...
I literally had
think
an
about
update for it today, too. And I was like, maybe I should delete this game, because we haven't been playing it lately. Good thing I didn't.
Dude. It's a great game.
Oh, no, it's a good game. I enjoy it. I just like using trigonometry to fuck over some noobs. It's like, ah, yes. Ting ting. I can't wait for the new Halo to come out. When that shit comes out, I'm going to play that non-stop and nobody can stop me.
Yeah, Halo Infinite.
Oh, yes.
Fuck, I need to update Splitgate. I'll update it right now.
It's only like 380 megabytes or some shit.
No, it's 2.45 gigabytes because I haven't been on it for a while.
How long is that going to take?
Ta-da! 2 megabits per second. Just kidding. It's growing. It's growing.
I'm not asking about your dick.
You know? This conversation, I'm just kidding. It's turning me on.
What the fuck? Got a great big Jewish nose, and it's there 10 minutes early wherever he goes.
It's at 3% right now. So, fuck. It's gonna take a little bit.
All right,
Says,
I'll keep doing
23
side
minutes.
quests.
It's the weekend, so I don't give a fuck. Oh no, I'm gonna plug in my Ethernet cable. Get over here, bitch. The fuck is going on here? Hold on. Oh, did I have a short Ethernet cable? Oh. Apparently I had a short Ethernet cable. I didn't realize that. God damn it. We turned off the lights. Oh. Oh, it's right here.
Oh, fuck. What happened? Did he disconnect his Xbox? He disconnect his Xbox. Wait a minute. What did you do? Did you disconnect your Xbox? Oh. It's a load of barnacles. Those cats. Is it the gaming lemon? He doesn't post much anymore. Retail just sucks. Stalking women in the grocery store, you sick fuck. I gotta look at the goods, don't I? What, like looking up her panties when she's on a fucking ladder? Wait. Oh my fucking god. She was of legal age. Fucking pussies. Fucking pussies. Like, just... What the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck? I can't flirt with an 18-year-old girl. God damn it. There's literally a line at the end of the game where she's like, "Do you want to fuck?" Oh, that's fucked up. Yeah.
I'm glad my audio was not included. On
Wait,
the
your
last
audio wasn't
part.
included? Wait, what did you say at the last
No,
part?
the last part with
Say
the
it.
like touch and shit.
No, fucking say it. Don't be a pussy.
Okay. Basically, it's not like he said. It's not like Leon was like, "Hey, Toots, stay in your lane. Go wash the dishes. Go make me a sandwich." It was just like flirty and shit like that. Like, and they still took that off. I was like, that's stupid. That's a load of bullshit. I don't know. And see, that's the thing. It's like, if you even make an example of what something sexist would sound like, people would hate you for being sexist. You know?
I mean, fair.
Just like people would hate teachers for reading like Huckleberry Finn or whatever.
Oh my
saying the
god, dude,
N-word.
my teacher read me Huck Finn in 3rd grade. Fucking destroyed me.
And that's the thing. Is like you saying it's like every teacher that has ever read Huckleberry Finn has now something they can be canceled for. You know, saying the N-word.
Oh my god, dude,
Like, it's so
my teacher,
it's like
my
it's
teacher was
literally in the
even
book.
worse because she would make us read each fucking sentence out loud
Yeah,
in front of the class.
Yeah.
So literally.
I was in 6th grade, and Miss Morgan, that's the bitch's name. she made made us read. I think it was Huckleberry Finn. We all everybody in that class said
N-word
the N-word.
Jim.
N-word.
That's his name. It's his fucking name in the book.
Goddamn.
I read that name at least 20 times in that school year.
And that's the thing. Everybody, I can guarantee everybody in my class has said the N-word. Because it was just like that was
You
in
know
the
what's
book.
worse?
You
You know
read
what's
it.
worse? Ulysses only has like 2 black families, and one of those families is literally like years apart. So like the 2 groups of black people in Ulysses all stem from like 1 to 2 families. So like the discrimination possibilities are endless.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I always see that
God, I wanted to
all
fuck
the
Alice so
black
much.
people, all the black people in Ulysses, they were popular. They were popular.
Because they're black. No, I'm just kidding. But Alla was hot. I loved her.
Dude, Anna was pretty cute.
She still
and
got
you
with that
could've smashed
dumbass
her.
dude. Oh, I know I could have.
You could have fucking Detroit smashed, man.
I know, but I was
Detroit
trying to be respectful. Respect is
No,
overrated.
no. Respect, yeah. Respect is
I
fucking.
regret it now because fucking douchebaggy skinny white boy McGee fucking knocked her up. I just remember going into McDonald's and seeing her with her kid and her
Jonah.
kind of like
Jonah.
look,
Yeah, that was his name, Jonah.
I just remember going into McDonald's one time, seeing her and her kid, and she just kind of looks at me, and I look at her kid, and she just looks so disappointed.
And you're like, you should be.
You should be.
You're all fucked up.
Didn't he like hit her or something, or am I thinking of the wrong couple?
I do not know, dude.
I
do
just
not know
remember
people's
somebody telling me like something fucked up about Ollie's relationship, but I don't remember what it was. I thought it was that the dude was like abusive physically, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but I swear I'm not.
Yeah, I do not know, man. It's just that's why I stay away from people's fucking drama because like I used to assume so much shit, and then I was like with Danielle, I was like Daniel Cray, not Ryan Daniel,
The other one.
um the other one. Yeah, like I had like a lot of assumptions of her beforehand, and after like I hung out with her, I was like, oh, like a lot of that was kind of wrong.
Well, she
You
was a
know,
good kid.
it was good. She was kind of like dealing with her own demons. You know,
She got put
there
into
was a
like
lot of
really
demons and
bad
shit.
situations.
Yeah, she. I'm gonna uninclude my audio
Go,
because it's kind of
go ahead.
personal.
Go ahead. No shit. Was that when she was with the like skinny white kid? Yeah. Did I ever tell you? Not to get off topic. Did I ever tell you that fucking Lalo Garcia tried to fuck Morgan, or tried to rape Morgan, the one that lived with me? Yeah, she told me herself. And see, Hannah Saxon even told me that Lalo was kind of rapey, which is why I always hated the son of a bitch. Dude, he always gave me the creeps, like, before I ever, like, by the way, if you're done talking about that topic, you can re-include your audio. If you're not, you keep it unincluded, you're fine. But, like, yeah, Lalo always gave me the creeps because I always thought his smile wasn't genuine. And I just
Yeah,
saw, like, when I looked him in the eyes, it just seemed dead to me. And the worst part is
I
he's a really good actor because he was in the drama club and shit, and he was in plays for the like public plays and shit, and that made it even worse because I knew he could act.
hmm,
So like he played in one of the plays, and he was like the guy who was supposed to do the piano and some other shit, and like the entire time, this is before Morgan tells me that the dude literally attempted to rape her one time. We're chilling there watching the play, and the moment she sees him, dude, I can just see her like skin turn pale. So like the reason she
wow.
told me is because I knew something was up. And we go,
Oh,
and
Jesus Christ.
like I even like tried to make it like fuck that guy because I knew she made contact with him. I'm like, that dude's a douchebag. She's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, he was kind of manipulative sexually and physically with Hannah Saxon, and she's admitted that. And I said, and then that one girl that like I tried to get you to get with, but I kind of had a crush on too. Apparently, he did some shit with her too.
To Adriana?
Yeah, before she moved. I don't know the logistics
See,
of like everything that
okay.
happened, and I wasn't super close with her for her to tell me. But I'm afraid that he did the same shit. But anyway, I was.
I know him and her were doing something. Because I remember that. Um, God damn it, dude. I was such a pussy back then. Because, so, I'm gonna tell you a story. So with, what the fuck? Dude, get on Splitgate. Get
Get
on
up.
Splitgate.
Wait, is it downloaded?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Apparently it turned to Spooky Gate.
It turned to Spooky Gate.
Get on Splitgate. Okay. Anyways,
Okay.
so with Adriana, I was such a fucking pussy. I hate myself for this shit. I hate myself for this shit. Okay. So you know Ryan Rodriguez, right? The fucking guy that he was above our grade. He was a little bit chubbier. He was dating Marissa Below, maybe. I think.
I'm not sure that I know them, but go on.
So this motherfucker, he he's like I remember I was walking Adriana to her car or whatever, and then he came up and he started bullying her, and I didn't say shit, and I'm like I fucking hate myself.
Wait, who was
I should
bullying
have
her?
said something. Ryan Rodriguez was bullying her.
What the fuck?
I was kind of coming up to her, just kind of like calling her a whore and shit like that, and I was like, "Oh, I wish I would have fucking said something. I fucking hate myself." Ah! Okay, but yeah, that was going on, and like inside, I really wanted to say something, but then my inner kid that was like got punched in fucking middle school, and just kind of took the loser mentality came out, and I was like,
Oh, I was fucking
Yeah.
insane though. If we're gonna be honest, you and me are two different people. Because like the first day I went to school, I can't remember what, but one of the like dickhead Hispanic kids, like the bigger dudes that hung out with like fucking that rich white kid who dealt fucking crack and all those fuckers tried to bully me with another one of the Hispanic kids. And I literally like chewed a Pepsi can in half and spit blood at him.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
They
See,
were
and
like,
that's the
this is
thing.
this is a new guy from Guyman. I bet he's easy to fuck with. And they're like, you guys always say you're in fights. I bet you're not that fucking hard. And I just chewed a can in half like a fucking goat and spit blood at him. The fucking Hispanic kid that always used to hang out with the girl that called me Hunter with the T was right next to it, and that's why he would always give me shit because he was he was always terrified. He was actively terrified of me for the longest time. And there was one time where Brett had his pet kitten stolen from his house by some like trashy Hispanic people, and he was he was at that house, but he wasn't one of the ones that stole the cat. He would have known. So he sees him there, and then like we literally said, "Give us back the cat, or we're gonna beat the fuck out of somebody." And he sees me and he goes, "Oh, that's Hunter. Don't fuck with him. That's Hunter with a T."
Goddamn.
It was one of the funniest interactions I've ever had. I'm gonna end my stream here and I'll hop on over to Spooky Gate with you.
Bruh, do it.